So what we'll do, go ahead and kick it off with like a roundtable of introductions, and then we'll just basically end up opening the floor for questions and answers regarding the RFP. So my name is Justin Early. I'm the buyer on this particular project, working out of the Office of Contracting and Procurement for the City of Detroit. Crystal.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Crystal Phillips. I'm the Executive Director of the City of Detroit Board of Ethics, and we plan to use this learning management system to build our online training for mandatory ethics training. And I'll let my ethics training specialist, Michael O'Connell, go next. Thank you.
My name is Michael O'Connell. I'm the Board of Ethics Training Specialist.
Thank you. Anyone else from the City of Detroit?
Hi, I'm Brandon Sledge-Mellon, Director of Technology Services. And Amber, can you go, please?
Sure. Good afternoon. My name is Amber Easton, Service Level Manager for the Department of Innovation and Technology. Department of Innovation and Technology. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Amber, Brandon, Crystal, and everyone. Thank you. All right. So just some housekeeping. This is just a pre-bid meeting. This is the process here. We will record, which is happening now. I do ask that you state your name and company when you once you go around to introduce yourself. Also, if you could put it in the chat, that'll be great as well. If we're unable to answer your question today, or if we don't get a chance to get to your question, I ask that you go ahead and go to the Oracle portal and go ahead and click the messaging function, and you can submit your questions there, and then we'll get back to you in a timely manner. Once we submit those answers, they will go out to all vendors that are participating in this bid. Alrighty. Okay, again, we have bid 185047. This was advertised September 6th. Our question due date is September 30th by 1 p.m. So we ask that the vendors submit all your questions by that date time. That way we can have enough time to get a response out to you. The proposal due date is October 9th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so what I'll do is go ahead and hand it off to the department, or do it whoever wants to give a high level overview of the RFP and what we're looking for. Or you know what? Let me back up. Let's do some introduction on the vendor side. I'm sorry. If you could go ahead and anyone kick it off, give your name and which company you're calling from.
Yeah, start. My name is Scott Dillon. I'm with Abgeon.
I'm Lindsay Petty with Data Analytics Technology Advantage. We do software and data analytics.
Hi, I'm Katya Williams, and I'm with Absorb Software.
Justin Byler with Meridian Knowledge Solutions.
I'm Jack Sullivan with Vertisoft Technologies. Emily Wright is also on the call with us.
Hi, Emily Wright from Vertisoft. Good afternoon.
Thanks. Anyone else?
Yeah, hey, myself Naginder, Director of Technology at Join. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Vishal Das. I'm representing Intellectix Inc. Thank you.
Thank you. And then again, if you could also put your name and company in the chat, that'll be great. All righty. Okay, so now I'll hand it over to the City of Detroit side for an overview of the RFP we're looking for. Crystal, feel free, or Amber, whoever has the better knowledge of the RFP itself.
Well, I guess I can take that since.
Oh, okay.
So the Board of Ethics currently employs ED Generator software. in a open form, self-paced training that we've kind of just evolved beyond. So we're looking for a more dynamic platform that can act as an intermediary for our conversations with public servants relative to the ethics ordinance, which is the governing ordinance for all public servant behavior determined by the standards of conduct set forth in the law and the charter. So there are some requirements. The training is required by all public servants, and the board has determined that each public servant will have to complete training every 2 years. So we're really looking for something that's very malleable. We have to be able to build our own lessons within it, to import and then manipulate existing content that we have or find, to use from our best practices. It has to be cross-compatible with all the software that we currently use, which are things like Teams and Zoom, and then also we use Wix for our department website. So being able to embed pieces of it there would be great, or just to make sure that we can seamlessly transition between the website and the learning management system as well. If there are available templates included with the software, that's great. If not, that's fine too. We just want the ability for users to access trainings of different lengths based on the time that they have, and then also the requirements that they'll be given, and really develop a program based around different levels of employment. So we have seasonal employees that obviously don't need as much training as our elected officials might, because they just don't face all the same situations. So we need the ability to kind of gatekeep certain trainings from people. So there's no need for a seasonal employee who's not running for office to get training on campaign contribution disclosures, because they're not going to do that. So really creating a path of learning through the portal. I've taken the general training, so now these things open up to me based on roles assigned in the system. And then we really want some ability to group users based on department or division within each department, and then assign them a in-house manager, so someone can, check in and be like, hey, all 10 of my employees have taken this training. I'm good to go. I don't have to check on that anymore. Or I still have 3 outstanding. I need to reach out to those people. And then the ability to notify within the system as well, to remind people, hey, you haven't taken your training yet. We need you to do that by this date. And that ability to outreach is going to be important for us too.
Great, thanks. Okay, so what we'll do is just open up the floor for questions and answers, or Q&A, and go from there. So anyone feel free. If you have tech questions, we have IT on the line as well. And then any procurement questions, I would respond to those.
Scott from Agion. So are you guys looking for a pre-built platform that we white label, or are you looking more for something built from scratch? Thank you.
So we're looking for a platform that can support the input of courses. That is white label. We'd like it to be able to develop it with all of our branding and everything, but we will need like the framework currently existing. We don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, Justin Byler with Meridian Knowledge Solutions. What's your total user count expected to use the LMS?
So that is a little bit fluctuating because all of our public servants are required, and that number changes on a monthly basis due to the onboarding of new employees and the offboarding of some employees. So we're roughly around 10,000 public servants, and then an additional 2,000 for contractors and vendors, which we have to expand to eventually, but that's not right on the end. So I would say anywhere from 12 to 13,000 users and at the end.
Thank you.
That's Lindsay Petty with data analytics. Do you have some assumptions around how many users will be online at any given time? Is it like maybe 3,000 at any given time, or what's the capacity at any given time?
We don't have any data to kind of estimate those numbers at all.
Thank you.
As a follow-up to Scott's question, so are you looking for a SaaS model application on a public cloud or any other preferences?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Yeah, I can help. Yep, preference for a SaaS model. Yes.
SaaS model. Okay.
So you'll have ethics training content that's already created?
Like I said at the beginning, we currently use Easy Generator, and there is content there. We would like to port out some of that content because it is still valuable, but we are going to be generally changing the content to more fit smaller divided up trainings rather than one long training.
So will part of the project be to develop or provide additional content for the training?
No, we'll develop all of the content ourselves.
Okay. And the content will be hosted through the app?
That would be the goal. Yes, the users would get on the platform and take their training on the platform.
Okay.
And it'd be housed there.
Justin Byler with Meridian Knowledge Solutions again. I know you said you're going to develop all your content. Do you have a content authoring tool you use currently, or will you need one as part of this RFP?
We would want that included in the system as
Okay.
a way to author the content in there in the system. Yeah.
Okay. Nagendra here again from AppJoin. Could you throw some light on in terms of the volume of the data, the content?
Sure. So the ordinance contains 12 standards of conduct and 4 disclosure requirements. And there would need to be an individual training on each one of those. So a minimum of 16 trainings. And then the board provides guidance through the request for advisory opinions. So there would be some situational training there on the, on potential issues that could come up for public servants. So probably another 5 to 6 trainings there. And then we have some complaint review we could do, some case studies. We'd probably look at another, 5 or 6 there as well. So, and these are smaller micro trainings. So we're not talking about hours long training for each one. Each one should take the user probably 10 to 15 minutes to complete. So not extremely high volume, just multiple. Each module would be short, but there would be many modules, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Okay, great.
I guess as a follow-up on the question that was asked a little bit earlier about content, and I think one of the responses was you want something with content creation. Yes, can you elaborate? Because I was, I guess, thinking that if you've got the Easy Generator, that's currently where you're getting a lot of your training, if I remember that correctly. And so there will be potentially additional training that would have to be, or content for training, and even maybe a training course that would have to be created. And you would want to be able to create it with the app in addition to using the Easy Generator content. Am I understanding the requirements correctly?
No, so just like the contents of the training that exists in Easy Generator will be moving over to the new content in the new system, because the information in Easy Generator right now is still applicable for public servants, and we want to be able to build on something, but it doesn't necessarily have to be you can get into the Easy Generator training from the new system. We would need to create the courses that they will be taking in the new system
Okay. And your organization would create that content?
Yes.
Okay. And you want that, but you want to be able to use this application to create the content? Or do you have another application that you currently use to create content?
No, we don't have another application, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks. Nancy? So you have your hand up. Nancy, I see you have your hand up, or is that might be an error? The floor is open for questions.
Yeah, Justin Byler again with Meridian Knowledge Solutions. I noticed in the RFP, you had stated that you hope to begin the project after City Council approval in September of 2024. Can you give us an update? Has that contract been approved by your City Council yet?
It has not. So the way the process works is we need to do this process and choose a vendor before City Council can approve. That timeline is no longer accurate for the approval of City Council's contract approval by City Council.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, just to add to that, so those dates will probably move out, of course, a little bit further. Not sure if the department wants to update a timeline, but if they do, we could. Okay.
Without knowing when City Council is going to approve the contract, there's no real estimate. We'd like to try and have the entire project done by next April, knowing that if we have to move that out a little bit based on the approval timeline, then we can do that.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I believe Nancy had a question. She's unable to get off of mute. There's a question in the chat.
Yep, I can help with that one. So Nancy asks, what integration will be required with what systems? I believe, Michael, you said earlier that Zoom, Teams, so any integrations with our current collaboration tools will be beneficial. At a bare minimum, we would want to be able to extract data out of the system via CSV so that it can be uploaded into other systems like our HRIS system.
Great,
Justin Byler again with Meridian. Are you requiring integration with your HRIS system? And if so, what is that system of record currently?
Yes, via CSV, so we can, shuttle it to whatever system, the results of the training,
Right.
so we could track it according to employee. Our current system is UKG, our current HRIS.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Nope, thank you.
Hi, this is Vijay from STG. One follow-up question from earlier, somebody asked, if you want to create a new content, are you expecting this platform to provide it, or you have a different content creation software and you can use this platform to upload so that people can, go for the surveys and other stuff?
We do not have another content creation program currently. We would want the system to be able to have the training set up within it and then have users be able to access it there.
Got it. Thank you.
I go next. Yeah. So, what kind of I mean, I believe it is mentioned in the RFP document as well. So, is it going to be all sort of PPT, videos, and documents, images, all kind of data?
Yeah. As many different forms as we can have.
And while there, so as part of the solution, you are so the commercial tools for creating the video content and all is fine, and you would probably expect the commercials as part of the RFP response.
Can you rephrase that? I'm sorry, I'm just
I
not.
thought I thought so. What I mean, so for example, for creating video kind of content, creating video from text, from image. If you want to do some mashup kind of, do you have any requirement of such? And for any requirement, the content creation, if it is a additional cost, you are fine with it, and probably you would like the bid respondents to include that as part of the costing and solution, correct?
Yeah, we'd like to know what it would cost up front. If there
Right.
is any extra costs on that. We do have equipment to do audio recording and some video, so as long as there's a place to put it and potentially edit it, that would be helpful. But we do have the equipment to do that outside sans the system as needed.
Okay, thank you. I have a follow-up thing in terms of the content storage. I mean, like what would be the life of this content? You probably might want to, these trainings might need to be archived as so any light on that aspect, please?
Well, we'll be reviewing user like results throughout the year, and then annually we'll update each module as needed. So there won't need to be historical data of specific modules that will evolve over time, but there will need to be user data storage. That's going to be more important is like results data. Then the modules will just be edited in themselves. If
Okay.
I don't know if that answers your question, but
Yeah, that answers. Yeah, that
Okay.
answers. Thank you.
Nancy, what do you mean by video coaching?
You know what? That's basically a practice area where people can practice speaking, doing different things on the system, and then with AI results based on it.
I don't foresee the need for that at this time, no.
Okay.
Any other than the HRMS, any other integrations with your partners, vendors, or yeah, any other integrations like single sign-on and that kind for the users?
Wouldn't need single sign-on. I do believe we listed some of the possible integrations in the RFP, but nothing that hasn't been mentioned. The collaboration tools, and then at a bare minimum, extract via CSV.
Right.
Hi, Emily Wright with Vertisoft. I had a question pertaining to the proposal content and format. specifically attachment C vendor pricing. I could not find a formal attachment C within the RFP or attached documents. Would you just like a formal quote to be provided for a cost proposal?
Yes, that's fine. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, we want the vendors to put their quotation in for attachment C.
sounds great.
Mhm.
Thank you.
A non-technical question. Would you have any preferences in terms of the location of the development team?
Could you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
He's asking about location preference for the development team.
Okay.
I think the ideal solution would be white label, so it would be something that is already built and wouldn't require much development. So, if that's the case, then it doesn't really matter where the development team is, as long as it's responsive. When if customizations need to be made, Michael, you can add anything I may have missed.
No, yeah, as long as we're really looking to put in our content and then begin training people. We don't want to rewrite an entire system or write an entire system into existence just for like a currently operable learning management system or platform that's already been set up and comes white label that we can input our content into.
Okay, but thank you. That answers.
Great. Any other questions?
I have a question in terms of, I know, as they say, there is no question which is like a dumb question or so just trying to have an idea, I know it's a open bid. Any budget range that you have in mind? If it is appropriate to answer, fine. Otherwise, if you would like to skip it, please do so.
Yeah, I don't think we had a budget in mind. We just wanted to kind of let the vendors kind of tell us what what options are out there.
Can you share what's the current cost for the current system, the Easy, whatever it was called, Easy Generator?
Nope. To get that information, I believe you have to, if it's not public already, there's a contract. If there's a contract, it's out there, but you have to file a FOIA to get that info.
Yeah, I assumed it was public. It's not public.
It should be public. That's what I'm saying. It should be out there already.
How would you find it?
The City of Detroit's website.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's just called Easy Generator?
I think so. Department or do it is E, the letter E, letter Z, and generator, right? Is that the product or is that the name of the vendor?
It is so if you go to easygenerator.com, EASY generator.com, they list some of their pricing. I mean, it's obviously, not the enterprise price, but I guess you can get a ballpark. In addition to, what Justin's recommendation about seeing if there's a contract, a current contract.
Thank you.
This is Vijay from STG again. Is there any reason the Easy Generator being replaced, or is it just a contractual reasons or any other reasons?
So we have to, by our procurement ordinance, we have to, for the most part, place out contracts every 3 years for bid. Have to place contracts.
Okay.
During their rotation every 3 years. Mm-hmm.
But as such, what are the features Easy Generator is providing? Those are suitable for your needs, right? For your requirements.
Question for the department or do it.
Easy Generator does not currently meet our needs.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of following on that question, which was a great question. Where is it failing to meet your needs?
There is no, so currently the administrative access to that system is not held by the department. That's a problem we're looking to solve with the new system. Also, that doesn't provide deep enough data analytics for us to be able to ensure that our training is hitting all the marks. And it doesn't allow dynamic content creation that we are looking for the new system to accomplish.
Thank you.
Hi, and
Miss-
then I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Of the 10 to 12,000 use count, is it a focus on internal? I know you said you'd be looking to add the 2,000 kind of vendors later on, but would that be currently an internal focus or a blended use case that you guys are wanting?
So this system will be specifically for public servants, so internal. Anyone that is an elected, appointed, or hired individual that works for the city of Detroit. The ordinance also requires that we train contractors and vendors in that way, which is why we will be looking for the additional usage down the line once we can get it working for our current public servants.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Hi, can you tell me a little bit about any support requirements you may have? Or expectations?
As in like technical support from the vendor?
User support, continual training, answers to questions, that kind of thing.
Yeah, our department would be the go-to for user support, would be the hope. And then if there are issues that we can't solve, we would want the vendor to be available for assistance and answering questions.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. A follow for that question. So the support that you are looking forward for, I mean, any timelines? So let's say 3 years, 5 years.
The entirety of the contract, I would say, is how long we would be looking for access to the vendor for assistance should we need it.
Okay. And yeah, one of the other questions, something related to it. So this solutioning, so I believe since you are looking for a off-the-shelf solution, any timelines that you have to roll out?
As I stated earlier, we're looking to get it finished by April of next year, 2025. But some of that will depend on how long it takes the contract to be approved by city council. So we're willing to push that back a little bit if we need to, but we're really going to be aiming for April.
And since the bid submission date is 9th of October, so is it fair to assume, the awarding of it to a vendor would be done by something like any timelines that you could tentative? I know you are not committing. I know there will be a lot of things involved at your end, but any tentative. So that the reason I'm trying to ask this question is trying to understand how much of the actual time we will get from the time we sign the contract and we have to roll this out. So what would be that's what I'm trying to arrive at. So I mean, like, the vendor would get roughly 5 months of time, fair to assume?
I mean, Justin, I don't know if you can assist with this. Until city council approves the contract, I have no idea how much time you'll have.
Oh, okay.
So
Got it.
what time as far as what time frame were you asking about?
about rollout
Okay.
after approval.
Yeah. I guess that would be up to the vendors though, because it's typically, I don't know how long implementation usually takes on their end,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
This is Dave Aldinger from STG. Real quick, as it relates to like responsive usage, mobile devices specifically, are we talking about both personal and like city-owned devices? In which case, you know, I know with personal devices, sometimes content needs to be secured or shouldn't be shared on personal devices. Is that something that should be taken into account? Some of this learning content is not publicly available content, basically, is what I'm trying to
No,
say.
all of the Board of Ethics training content is publicly
Okay,
available, and we will have a public facing
perfect.
training for like our constituents. So the system is more for internal communication to ensure that we meet our ordinance mandate to train all public servants.
Perfect. Auditing on the back end. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So in terms of references, someone in the domain for last 3 years and all. So would you require any reference letters or something of that sort?
Reference from you all. I believe there's a area in Oracle, or if not, one of the attachments is requesting references from your end.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, I think Nancy, hold on, me asking a question in the chat.
No, she was just
Oh,
saying
okay.
she's leaving.
All right.
Yep.
I had to move my screen around. I couldn't see. All right. Thank you. Any other questions? And again, if we are unable to answer your questions today, or if you have more, in Oracle, there's a messaging button. You can hit that and then submit your questions, and then we'll get them answered and blast them out to everybody on this call and that are participating. So. And again, this bid is due October 9th at 4 p.m. and the questions are due September 30th by 1 p.m. Any other questions? If not, we can wrap it up. If you do have questions, feel free. All right. Well, we'd like to thank you for your time today. Thank you for joining. And we do look forward to your bid participation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.